Good morning, everyone. Well, this is a quick 10-minute update on the tracker, and just to give you a feel for what's going on with the weather and a few other things. It's every Monday for me and every Wednesday morning, same time, 8 o'clock France time, 6 o'clock UTC, and then on Saturdays is the big one. But just before we get into that, I just want to show you another little feature. If you click on any boat, like Susie, just click it on there, it makes it a bigger screen. I'll come up one size here, so it's a little bit bigger. Down the bottom, click and drag. We'll just drag it back here, and you can follow any boat in terms of performance of another. So here's Susie up here, the little bright one, and here's Mark Slats down here. And you can then click and drag it back, and you'll see how she's performing in relation to Mark. Here goes Mark down the side. She cut through the middle, and she's getting very close to him there. Gets to Cape Town, Mark's streaming ahead. She just stalls in that position. What's going on here? We lost that. Start again. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, you can see she's stalling in that position when she went north. Mark's sailing away, and the others have gone. So she's now back in the lead of the tail ender group. If you say highlight Tommy here, he's there. You can see some huge gains that he's made coming down through the Atlantic, turning the corner. Here's Mark Slats there. You can see him there. There's Tommy. You just drag it forward. You see Tommy got caught in a hole, but now he's charging ahead, catching up. He's caught up to Uku. He's passed Uku. He's catching up to Gregor, and bingo, he's made big ground. So you can always use that click and drag to see what's going on. Just back here, or go back big. I'll put the wind over. You hit the windsock. Got it there. I'll put the grids on. You hit the little grid box there, gives us a point of reference. Francesco over the back here, making reasonable time. He's got a southeasterly breeze, tail ender, and he's doing 3.8 knots heading towards Salvador, so he'll be in there in the next couple of days. Suhaili's still slowly coming down. There'll be another jump shortly. We don't have the tails on here, so we come up here and we'll hit this one, toggle tracks. Remember, hit it once, you get short tracks. Hit it twice, you get the long faint tracks. Hit it 3 times, you'll get the entire tracks there all the way back. But we only want little snail trails for the sake of the exercise now. I'll boost it one size on the so we zoom in and have a look. This is today's weather on the 10th. These positions are set up for 4 o'clock UTC, 6 o'clock French time, so they're now 2 hours old. So Mark's little episode here to come and do a film drop is costing him dearly. He's now fallen in the hole. He's doing 2.2 knots, and he's going to be stuck there for another day or so yet. Igor, again, made the fatal mistake of going too far north. You know, you've got to get down here to the 40th parallel to get breeze usually. There's often a hole there, and he's now only doing 1.5 knots, so he needs to get south. The interesting one, Loic's in Cape Town still working, hoping to get away on Wednesday. And these two guys, Tapio and if we zoom right in here, they actually, they didn't nearly collide, but you'll see they've been crossing tacks here. They knew they were close, and we got a message from Tapio late yesterday. Woke up from a sleep, and there was Istvan only less than a mile away. So they've been waving to each other and chatting on the VHF. Now they're about 3 or 4 miles apart, maybe 5 miles by the look of that. Heading in similar direction because they know they need to be down there to get across. So they're making pretty good time in this breeze. I'll just zoom it back here. Both making about 6 knots at the moment. Tapio's making 6.2, Istvan's making 5.8. So a bit of a race on there, which is kind of nice. Susie's doing all right now. She's got a breeze. She's still coming down a bit. She knows there's a hole up here probably. Doing 5.7 knots. She'll come around shortly once she's on 40 probably. And unfortunately, this tail ender group now, I've spoken about it before, they are basically one complete weather system away from the middle group. So it's going to be virtually impossible for Susie to catch any of these guys, Uku, Tommy, and Gregor, unless they make a mistake. If one of these guys make a mistake, she may get a jump, but she's going to be holding that position all the way through to Hobart, and we'll just have to wait and see. She's missed out there, and now we look at the weather here for these guys. It's pretty typical Southern Ocean weather, nothing really dramatic at the moment, but plenty of breeze for sure. You've got this northwesterly breeze preceding a very weak front here where it's going to go south, and that's common. It always blows northwest, then it blows, front comes through, it goes to the southwest, and usually often it gets stronger or weaker, but anyway, they're doing pretty well now. Uku at the back here, 5 knots, sailing along nicely with a southerly breeze. Tommy's doing 6.5 knots. He's extending his lead from Uku now, and we've got Gregor down here 5.2, and Maverick up here making 5.2 as well. Now, if we put the measuring tool on here, this is the interesting one. Why is the measuring tool not coming up here? That's a bit of a bummer. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let me just take the weather off, and I'll see if I can get it here. It should. It's not working. That's a bummer. Well, I can tell you now anyway. Gregor is about 180 miles behind Mark, so that's a day and a half sailing. So he's right on his tail. Tommy is about 120 miles behind Gregor, and that's only really 1 day sail away, and he's gaining. Uku is about 90 miles behind Abelish now, so there's a real race going on here, which is really cool. And how's the old man of the fleet going up the front? He's boring along. I'll put the wind back on again so we can see what's going on. Not slowing down at all. He's currently doing 6.9 knots. He's extended his lead a little bit from Mark Slats. Again, same issue. He's more than a weather system in front, so they're not going to catch him unless something, Jean-Luc makes a mistake somewhere or whatever. Another interesting point, if I come up here and put on our course features, where are we? Toggle course features. This is the exclusion zone, the no-go zone, and you can see that most of the heavy weather is still below the line. And that's Jean-Luc's just cruising underneath the centre of this high, which is exactly what we want to see. So favourable wind direction, but nothing big and dramatic down south here. So if I extend that back, there's a bit of a lump coming up over the top. You wouldn't have got through that, but generally, if we imagine this line here now, I'll just knock that off. Oh, that's the day-night. We don't want that. Where are we here? Toggle map type. I keep losing it myself now. Here we go. We take that out. You can see all the heavy weather's down the bottom. So anyway, they're all, things are moving along quite well. We're not getting any strange report from the sailors. They're having typical Southern Ocean weather. Uku's hadn't been enjoying it for the last couple of days. He said it's quite tough down here. Susie's reporting all good. They all are. So everything's looking fine. If we come back here just to look at the currents now for these guys going around the bottom of the Cape, they've got some issues. We did issue another navigation warning here. We got some issues. I'm going to have to reboot this just to quickly come through. That's probably why the toggle's not there. If this happens to you, this is all you do. Whoa, what's going on here? That's a bit crazy. I'll just try reboot again. All happening live. Okay, so we're back on track. That can happen. Could be my computer as well, so we never know. I'll just We'll just go back to here. We'll just pick it up a bit live there. Go to the wind, put the wind on because I want to read the currents. Come down here, open up, go to currents, and you can see, we put a navigation warning out for a couple of reasons. We warned sailors about this area here, particularly Igor, Mark coming on later on, Istvan and so on have dipped down underneath it, because in a few days, if we imagine this area here, Susie's come through it, she's just missed a head current there. Anyway, it's a very treacherous area if you get big winds coming this way. And in a few days, if we come back to look at the overall weather, I'll zoom it back one. We'll get rid of that scale there. You'll see what happens. So this is today's weather. Looking at the fleet, we come forward a day to the 11th. Bingo, things are pretty, in fact, they're very unstable down here. You've got lots of little systems, highs and lows, big calms everywhere and so on. But Susie's going to get some headwinds tomorrow, but she'll tack across and then it'll be just beam reaching. So it won't be headwind, sorry, but it's a southerly, so she'll just come across and head west. Isfahan and Tapio, they should be okay. Igor's going to be reaching down, which is a good thing to get south. Guys over here, they'll keep sailing, bit of a mixed bag, but it'll still be sailing. We go through to the 12th, and this is the one that's going to cause the problem back here. It's coming in. The middle fleet, they're going to be sailing very fast, got strong southwesterly breezes coming across. That's okay. And then we come across to the 13th, and you'll see what's happening here. You've got some solid winds. Actually, that's interesting because that's now dying down a little bit. Just hours ago, that was actually a lot stronger. So they may be lucky. But anyway, you get these big winds and those currents going the other way. It can be a bit horrific. So we've just warned the tail enders about that. And this is right about when Mark wants to do his film drop. But I don't know whether that's going to be a wise move in there in those winds. So we'll just have to see what happens. It moves across reasonably quickly. The 14th, it's already gone. Head across there. Poor old Jean-Luc. He's so far in front. We've got to have a whole new explanation of what weather he's getting over the next few days because we can't even see him on the same screen. But again, I'll go through one day ahead. There's one day, pretty nice. Jean-Luc's happy. These guys have got a bit of a disturbance. On the 12th, again, looking okay. He's going to get some solid northerlies. 13th, still okay. He's just got good solid breezes. For Jean-Luc, he'll call that a nice sailing day. Put a spinnaker up and go like crazy, probably. Back here, they might get a bit of influence from this centre of the high here that's squashing up. How do I know it's a high? Because a high down in this southern hemisphere always goes in clockwise. A low always goes anti-clockwise. Nothing really to show you on the waves and so on. So I think that's about it. Everything's looking pretty good for the next few days. So watch this space. There's a press release coming out this afternoon. If you want to subscribe on the newsletter on the GGR website, you will get the press release automatically emailed to your email address. And the same with the newsletters, not press releases. That's my thoughts and other things that happen during the race. Just subscribe to the email newsletters and you'll get them direct. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you later on.